Good afternoon. I'm Assemblyman Michael Montesano, representing the 15th Assembly District in Nassau County, which runs from Bayville on the North Shore down to the village of Farmingdale on the beginning of the South Shore. As a member of the Legislative Ethics Commission and Assembly Ethics and Guidance Committee, I would like to discuss with you this afternoon several issues that took place here in Albany today regarding ethics reform. Early this morning, the Assembly Republican Conference, under the leadership of the Minority Leader Brian Kolb, we held a press conference today on ethics reforms issues that we want to accomplish this session in the Assembly and throughout the state legislature. The activities of the past year have shown that we need a complete overhaul of how the state legislature works, more specifically how the Assembly works regarding rules of operation, and it's to bring transparency to the Assembly. We want the public to see and know how their elected officials throughout the state vote on matters that come out of the committee meetings and how a bill gets to the floor, and that every bill should come out to the floor for a vote before the public, not have the vote fixed before it comes to the floor. What happens currently is when a bill comes through the committee, a committee chairperson who is a Democratic member decides whether or not the committee gets to hear the bill, to even vote on it and discuss it. Should it survive the committee and it comes down to the floor, the Speaker of the House has the ultimate authority to decide whether or not the bill comes out to the floor for a vote. His opinion is, unless he has 76 members of the Democratic Party, his conference, unanimous on bringing it to the floor to vote on it, he will not bring it out to the floor. Our opinion is that majority members mean that it's the majority members of the House, 76 total members, being a combination of Republican and Democratic members, should be able to bring a bill out to the floor for a vote. Astonishingly today, we offered 17 rule changes to accomplish many of these tasks today. And once again, all but a handful, maybe 5 or 6 members of the Democratic Conference in the Assembly voted against these measures. It's hard to fathom that they would even do this in light of what has happened. More so because of last year, while it was happening, they pledged that they would move for changes in the Assembly. So I want to encourage you to write to the Speaker of the Assembly, to the President of the Senate, and to the Governor to bring about these changes in the legislature. The one last topic that's very important is abolishing the 3 men in the room concept that goes on during budget negotiations. The governor decides that he will meet with the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the Assembly, and he leaves out the 2 members of the majorities in each house. He doesn't let them partake in the discussions or the decisions that are made. Every one of these leaders represents people of the state of New York through their elected representatives, and the governor is excluding these people's opinions and voice from the budgetary process. So we're imploring the governor to make these changes, and we're asking you to call his office, email his office, and make him understand that the 3 men in the room cannot continue. In fact, last year's 3 men in the room, 2 of them are now missing. They've been indicted and convicted after jury trials in federal court for corruption. The new 3 men in the room has to change this budget year, but we need you to make your voices heard. So again, I encourage you to email or call the offices of the governor and the President of the Senate, Senator Flanagan, and the Speaker of the Assembly, Assemblyman Carl Hasty, to show you displeasure about what's going on and to ask them to get on board and to support these ethics changes so that the legislature can properly do its work in full daylight. Thank you.